Every morning you stand in front of that mirror. Hair done, outfit together, and something still feels off. You cannot name it, but you feel it. That quiet disconnect between how you feel inside and what you see looking back at you. Here is the truth nobody in your life will say out loud. For most women over 50, it is not the wrinkles. It is not the skin. It is the haircut. The wrong cut is silently working against your bone structure every single day. And it takes less than one appointment to change that. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women, so you get simple, proven transformations that work immediately. Today we are covering 5 haircuts that make older women look younger after 50. And by part 3, you are going to want to stop and look in the mirror. I mean it. Part 1 opens with a cut so quietly common that 8 out of 10 women I speak to are wearing some version of it right now. Part 2 delivers a fix so simple and specific that a stylist told me she wishes every client walked in already knowing it. Part 3 holds the one detail about layers that most women get completely backwards. And the moment you hear it, you will understand exactly why your last few cuts never quite landed the way you hoped. Part 4 and Part 5 give you the exact language to use in the salon chair so that this time, you walk out with the result you actually pictured. If you have not already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The Blunt Bob Trap. You have probably had some version of this cut. It is clean. It is manageable. Stylists love suggesting it because it photographs well in a magazine. But here is what nobody tells you when you are sitting in that salon chair. A blunt, jaw-length bob is one of the most aging cuts a woman over 50 can choose. And it is doing something very specific to your face right now that you have likely never had explained. This is the one that surprises women most. Because it looks polished. It looks intentional. It looks like a grown-up, sophisticated choice. And it is aging you by years. Here is exactly how it works against you. As we age, the face naturally loses volume in the upper cheeks and temples. The mid-face softens downward. What you need is a cut that redirects visual weight upward, toward the cheekbones, toward the eyes. A blunt jaw-length bob does the opposite. The straight, heavy hem acts like a visual anchor pulling the eye directly down to the jawline. And when the eye goes down, the cheeks look flatter, the jowl area reads heavier, and the overall impression of the face is that it is dropping. That specific choice is pulling the eye downward and flattening your cheekbones. It adds at least 4 years to how your face reads in any photograph. Now here is what to ask for instead. The swap is not dramatic. It is precise. Rather than a blunt jaw-length bob, ask your stylist for a layered cut that falls just past the collarbone. That extra length alone already changes the direction the eye travels. But the layers are the real secret. Specifically, ask for face-framing layers that begin at the cheekbone. Not chin-level layers. Cheekbone-level layers. That placement lifts the visual focal point of your entire face. The cut starts working before you even do your hair. The second fix is a soft graduated shape at the back, slightly shorter underneath and fuller through the crown. This creates upward volume at the top of the head, which balances the face proportionally and makes the whole silhouette look lighter and more lifted. Yes, that's simple. Maintenance note. Ask your stylist to refresh those face-framing layers every 6 to 8 weeks. Layers lose their lift as they grow out, and the whole effect depends on that shape staying clean and intentional. I watched a woman in a salon chair last week. Stunning bone structure, perfect posture, and a jaw-length blunt bob was doing everything wrong to her face. She kept telling the stylist to just clean it up. She did not know what she was actually asking for. After one conversation about layer placement, she left with a completely different cut, and I saw her stop at the mirror near the door and just stand there for a moment. That pause said everything. The next mistake is the one I see most often, and the most expensive one to fix if you leave it too long. Part 2. The volume collapse. Ask yourself this honestly. When you look at a photo of yourself from the last year, does your hair look thinner than it used to? Does it sit flat? Does it seem to disappear rather than frame? Most women answer yes. And then they do something that accidentally makes it worse. When hair loses volume, which is completely normal after 50, it is hormonal, it is physiological, it happens to almost everyone. The instinct is to cut it shorter. The thinking goes, shorter hair feels lighter and more manageable, so it must look fuller. But here is what nobody in your life is saying to you directly. Cutting fine or thinning hair too short removes the weight needed to create the appearance of density. A very short cut on fine hair exposes the scalp more readily, shows the gap between strands more clearly, and eliminates the natural movement that disguises thinness. This specific pattern is making your hair look thinner and flatter than it actually is, and it is pulling the vertical line out of your silhouette, which adds years to your appearance in every room you walk into. The approach that actually works is a medium-length cut between the chin and the collarbone, with strategic layering that removes weight from the ends, but keeps the overall perimeter intact. The length gives the hair something to fall against, which creates the visual impression of fullness. The layers prevent the ends from sitting heavy and flat, which is what makes fine hair look limp. Retention booster. This is the single most requested piece of advice from women in their 60s that I hear from stylists consistently, and most women only discover it by accident. The second element that transforms fine hair is invisible layering, also called internal layers or slide-cut layers. Unlike traditional layers which create visible steps or a stacked shape at the back, invisible layers remove bulk from within the hair without changing the outside perimeter. The result is hair that moves freely, reflects more light because each strand can shift independently, and creates the optical illusion of fullness because nothing is lying flat against anything else. Ask your stylist specifically. Invisible layers or slide-cut technique, medium length, perimeter kept intact. Write those words down before your next appointment. This one is everything. Maintenance note. Fine hair with invisible layers benefits from a trim every 8 weeks to maintain the movement. As the internal layers grow out, the weight returns and the effect softens. Keeping that shape fresh is what sustains the fullness. Coming up next, the one swap that takes 30 seconds to ask for, and changes how your entire face reads on camera. Part 3. The layer direction mistake. There is one thing about layers that nobody in this space talks about plainly, and it has been quietly undermining haircuts for mature women for years. Every woman over 50 has been told she needs layers. And that is true. Layers are one of the most powerful tools for lifting the face, adding movement, and creating a haircut that works with your bone structure rather than against it. But here is where it goes wrong. And this is the part most women never hear. There are two completely different kinds of layers. And depending on which one your stylist defaults to, your cut is either lifting you or quietly dragging everything down. The first type is what most stylists reach for by default. Surface layers or choppy layers cut straight across the face at a 90-degree angle. These create visible steps in the hair, give it a layered look in the most literal sense, but they do something architecturally problematic for mature faces. They draw horizontal lines across the frame of the face. And horizontal lines on a face that has already softened downward with age make the heaviness more visible, not less. That default layer technique is creating horizontal visual lines across the frame of your face. And for women over 50, horizontal lines lower the eye and add years to the way your features read in daylight. The second type of layer is the one you need to specifically request. They are called face-framing diagonal layers or sweeping layers, and they are cut at an angle that directs the eye upward. Instead of horizontal lines, they create diagonal movement that pulls the visual focus toward the cheekbones and temples. That upward diagonal is everything. It is the difference between a cut that reads as polished and a cut that reads as lifted and alive. Retention booster. This specific request, diagonal face framing layers starting at the cheekbone, is something a stylist friend of mine said she wishes every client over 50 would walk in already asking for. It changes the entire consultation. Write this one down. The specific language to use at your next appointment. Ask for face framing layers that begin at the cheekbone, cut on a diagonal, sweeping back toward the ear and temple. Add. I want the layers to direct the eye upward toward my cheekbones, not across the face. Any skilled stylist will immediately understand exactly what you mean. Maintenance note. Diagonal layers are best refreshed every 8 to 10 weeks. As they grow, the angle softens and they gradually flatten back toward horizontal. Keeping the trim schedule is what keeps the lift. What I am covering in the next part. Most women find it even harder to hear, but it is the one that matters most. Part 4. The crown collapse. Bold truth to start. Where your hair sits on your head tells everyone in the room how old you are, and most women are getting this completely wrong without knowing it. Here is the part that catches almost every woman I speak to off guard. We spend so much time thinking about length, about layers, about color, and virtually no time thinking about crown volume. But crown volume, the fullness at the very top of the head, is one of the most powerful age-signaling elements in a hairstyle. And after 50, it is the area where hair volume decreases fastest. When the crown is flat, something very specific happens to your face. The eye reads the head as narrow at the top and wider at the bottom, which mirrors the exact shape change that happens to the face as it ages. The combination of a flat crown and a softening jawline accelerates how old the overall face reads. The two work together in the wrong direction. A flat crown is visually widening the lower half of your face and narrowing the top, which is one of the clearest visual signals of aging that the eye picks up before any other detail. This is the one a friend of mine heard and immediately called her stylist. She told me she had never once thought about crown volume as a separate thing to ask for. She had been requesting haircuts for 20 years and never used those two words together. The fix involves two things working simultaneously. First, ask your stylist specifically for graduation at the crown, which means the layers are cut shorter at the top of the head and longer underneath. This creates a structure that holds volume upward rather than letting it collapse. Second, the weight line, which is the heaviest part of the cut, should fall below the occipital bone at the back of the head, not at the crown. When the weight line is too high, it pushes the hair outward at ear level and flat at the top, which is the exact silhouette we are trying to reverse. You needed to hear this. Ask your stylist these exact words at your next appointment. I want graduation at the crown with the weight line below the occipital bone. I want more volume at the top of my head than at the sides. A good stylist will build the entire cut around that brief. And the moment you blow dry at home and see that crown sitting high and full, you will wonder why nobody said this to you years ago. Maintenance note: crown graduation requires a trim every 6 to 8 weeks. As hair grows, the weight line rises and the graduation flattens. The structure only works when it is kept fresh. There is one thing about the final cut in this series that nobody in this space talks about. That is next. Part 5, the texture mistake. Here is a question I want you to sit with for a moment. When did you last have a cut that gave your hair actual texture? Not layers. Not a trim. Texture. The kind of finish that makes hair look alive, that catches light differently across each strand, that moves when you move and settles differently every time. Most women over 50 have not had that in years. And the reason is a mistake that is built into the way most haircuts for mature women are still being approached. The default approach to fine, mature hair has been smoothed out. Reduce the movement. Create a clean, polished surface. And for years that felt like the right answer. Cleaner looked younger. But here is the truth that changes everything. Smooth, flat, one-dimensional hair reads as thin. And thin hair, regardless of the cut underneath, visually ages the face faster than almost any other single element. Flat, over-smooth hair is creating a one-dimensional surface that reads as thin and lifeless in any light. And that specific surface texture is one of the clearest visual markers of aging hair that every eye picks up immediately, whether consciously or not. The haircut fix that solves this immediately is called a point cut or texturizing finish. Rather than cutting the ends straight across, which creates a smooth blunt hem, a point cut technique involves the stylist cutting into the ends at a vertical angle, creating irregular micro-lengths at the perimeter of the hair. The result is ends that catch light at different angles, creating a visual impression of density and movement that no smoothing technique can replicate. Retention booster. Every stylist I have spoken to about this for women over 50 says the same thing. The finish of a haircut matters as much as the shape. Most women only request the shape. The finish is where the youth-boosting result actually lives. Ask your stylist specifically, I want a point cut or texturizing finish on all the ends, including the face framing pieces. That instruction alone changes what you walk out with. This one is everything. The second element in the texture conversation is the product finish. A light texturizing spray, or a small amount of dry wax worked through the ends after styling enhances the point cut effect at home. It is not about adding product weight. It is about amplifying the visual separation between strands that the point cut already created. The hair looks fuller, the movement is more visible, and the overall impression is hair that is alive rather than sitting still. Maintenance note: the point cut finish grows out within 6 to 8 weeks, and the ends gradually return to a smoother, heavier hem. Request the texturizing finish at every single trim, not just when getting a full cut, to maintain the effect consistently between major appointments. I didn't expect part 5 to be the one people message me about most, but it always is. You just learned the 5 haircut moves that most women spend years figuring out alone. The specific cuts to step away from, the exact replacements to ask for, and the precise language to use in the salon chair so that this time, the result actually matches what you pictured. Boom! Your bone structure was always this stunning. Now it shows. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 was the one you recognized immediately? Was it the blunt bob, the flat crown, or the texture finish? I want to know. Next time, we are getting into the one accessory mistake that adds 10 years overnight, and it is not what you would expect. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.